Hello, and thank you for joining us to learn more about the benefits of the QuoteWerks Configurator. The Configurator is a powerful tool that simplifies the quoting process by eliminating the need to memorize or look up product options and relationships. It allows the salesperson to construct a simpler group bundle on the fly by following a series of pre-configured prompts that guide them through the necessary decisions. We encourage you to review the Basic Configurator video first if you have not done so already, as today we'll be taking a look at some of the intermediate features of the QuoteWerks Configurator, including item, sort order, line types, and line attributes. We'll start by building on the simple configuration that we created during the Basic Configurator video. We can access the configurator from the icon on the toolbar or the Products drop-down menu. We can create a duplicate of the existing configuration by selecting it and by using the clone feature. We can then select that configuration and hit Edit. Today we'll be working with items in the configuration, so we'll flip over to the Flowchart tab and select the selection container for TVs by double-clicking on the selection container, and we're going to switch over to the Items tab. Let's now take a look at how sorting works for the list of items. Refer to the sort order column on the far right of the grid and the list of numbers that you see there. The items in this list will sort automatically based on the values, and the default values are automatically incremented by 10 as the items are first added to the list. Let's go ahead and change the order of these items to show you how the sort order works. Let's go ahead and start by selecting our 24-inch TV and determine how we want to have this list look. When we have a user go into this particular part of the configurator, let's say we want the 61-inch TV to be listed first, followed by the 53-inch TV, followed by the 27-inch TV, followed by the 24-inch TV. How would we do that? Well, as I just mentioned, the sort order numbers here on the right are the way in which we determine how these are going to display in that particular configurator step. So we're going to first select the 24-inch TV and hit Edit. And because we want this to be our last item on the list, and 40 is the highest sort order, we can give it a number higher than 40. In this case, we'll go 50. You'll see that our 24-inch TV is now the last on our list. Next, we want our 27-inch TV to be the second to last on the list, so we need to make sure that it's a number between 40 and 50. In this case, we'll put 45, and you'll see how we now have those two TVs listed at the bottom. Now, the last thing that we need to do is have our 61-inch TV list as the first in the order, meaning that we need for it to be any number lower than 30. And that's because our 53-inch TV has a sort order of 30. Now you can see the list has been reversed with a 61-inch TV at the top and the 24-inch TV at the bottom. Now let's take a look at some of the additional line types that are supported by the configurator. We can view those line types by selecting an item and hitting Edit. Notice the list of line types on this item. The configure item can be a standard product service line item, a comment line item, a subtotal line item, or a heading line item. These options are useful for letting a sales rep include standard comment or heading lines while building a bundle in the configurator, or for including subtotals in the configuration. So let's go ahead and add some of these to our selection containers. We do that by hitting Add Item. And we recommend creating items in a product database for use as comment headings and subtotals. We've created a folder here called Comments. And we have a couple different options within that particular product database. For example, if we wanted to add our header for televisions, we could easily do that by hitting Select. And we're going to make this a heading line item. And we want that header to list at the top of our product list in this particular configurator step. To do so, we're going to want to change the sort order, in this case to 10 because it's lower than 20, which is the lowest number, or was the lowest number on our product list. Next, let's add a subtotal. Again, we'll hit Add Item. In this case, we'll choose Subtotal, select an Add, and choose the subtotal line type. We'll now do the same thing for the receivers and speakers container. and then we'll do the same thing for our speakers container. So we now have a heading and a subtotal for all three of our selection containers. Before we test our enhanced configuration, let's look over this other set of options called line attributes. We can view the item's line attributes by going to the flowchart, double-clicking on the selection container, going to the Items tab, and selecting an item and hitting Edit. Here we'll see the line attributes associated with that particular item. These are the exact same line attributes that are available to any line in the standard QuoteWerks document tab. The exclude line option will ensure that the line is not printed and its price is not included in any calculations. This is useful in the case where you generally want to exclude an item but keep it in the group for special circumstances. Hide price will print the line items on the document and include its price in calculations but not print the price on the document. Print line will ensure that the line is included on the document and the option is checked by default. When unchecked, the item's price will still be included in calculations, but the item will not be printed on the document at all. Setting the option attribute includes the line on the document and allows the price to be printed, but the price is not included in calculations. Option selected attribute is just like option attribute, but includes the price in calculations. Those two attributes are useful for allowing customers to choose between various options without all the back and forth of revising the quote. Print picture will allow a picture to be associated with an item to be printed on the final document. Hide quantity will print the line item and its price but not print the quantity. This is useful for showing a set of items that are included without getting into the specifics of exactly how many. We also have this extra feature called Don't Include in Group. This setting can only be used on items at the very end of a group bundle, and it essentially allows us to include a simple bundle right after a group bundle. So let's go ahead and test our enhanced configuration and see what kind of differences our new line item types can make. We test the configuration by going into our configuration screen, selecting our configuration and hitting Start. Here in our TV step, we'll want to add a header for televisions, make an item selection, and add our subtotal. In our next step, we'll want to do the same by adding a header for our receivers, choosing a receiver, and adding a subtotal line. And finally with speakers, we'll add our header, we'll add two items, and we'll add our subtotal. We'll include this in a heading, a section header called Entertainment System. And we'll click Finish to add these to our quote. As you can see, we have our entertainment system header here, along with our header for televisions, receivers, and speakers, along with a subtotal for each option. Let's see how that looks on a printed document. Now we have a nice comprehensive customized quote assembled in seconds just by running through the QuoteWerks configurator. Notice that each step from the configurator is now neatly arranged into its own section with a heading and a subtotal line. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the QuoteWerks configurator and its powerful features. Make sure to check out the Advanced Configurator video for even more great tips and tricks.